duckling was the best swimmer. Where gray duckling, which which duckling is gray duckling? Where? Yeah, this one. That afternoon, the mother duck took her ducklings to the farmyard to meet the other animals. Who's that? The hens clucked at the gray duckling. He's so ugly. All the animals laughed and teased the gray duckling. Even his our brothers and sisters laughed at him. Look, what an ugly duckling, they called. What did he feel? What does he feel? Does he feel happy? Does he feel sad? Yes, the ugly duckling feels so sad. The gray duckling was so unhappy that he decided to run away. He left the pond. He walked across the field and through the woods until he was far away from home. The duckling came to a marsh. The wild ducks there said, "You are ugly, but you can stay." Then, bang! It was a loud shot. There were hunters in the marsh. A dog poked his nose in the reeds, sniffed the duckling, then ran off. "I'm so ugly," cried the duckling. "Even he doesn't like me." The duckling walked into a wood. He saw a tiny house. This is a tiny house in a clearing. An old woman lived there with her hen and her cat. "You can stay here," the old woman said, "and lay lots of eggs for me to eat." The old woman's hen was very unkind to the duckling. She told him to go away when he could not lay eggs. The old woman's cat didn't like the duckling either. "You're no good for anything," said the cat. "We don't want you here." The duckling walked on until he came to a pond. He lived here all summer. There was plenty to eat, but the ugly duckling was still sad. Is he sad? Is he sad? Is he cold? Yes, he's cold. Soon the sky grew dark and gray. Winter had come. It was so cold that the duckling had to keep swimming around to stop himself from freezing. And it grew colder and colder. At last, the duckling became frozen in the ice. A kind farmer found him. He picked him up and took him home. The duckling soon warmed up in the farmer's kitchen. The farmer's children wanted him for a pet, but the duckling thought he wanted to cook him for dinner. He started to run away. As he flew around the room, the ugly duckling knocked over a big jug of milk. How frightened he was! So off he flew, and he didn't stop until he was far away. The winter was long and hard. Then, one day, he heard a bird start to sing. He felt the sun on his feathers. Spring was here at last. The duckling was stronger now. He flapped his wings and found that he could fly. He flew over his wings. He flew over like it's a beak. Ahead, 3 white swans were swimming. Who is he? He a swan. He is a swan. How many swans in the pond? Swan, yes. This is swan. I'm going to fly down to those birds, he said. Perhaps I can make friends with them. As he flew over the water, what do you think he saw? Not his ugly gray feathers. It's the glove. It's the glove. Not his ugly gray feathers, but white feathers and a long neck. Teddy? He was a swan. The three swans welcomed him, and he swam around the lake, his head held high. He was no longer an ugly gray duckling. He was a beautiful white swan. West want